In 1939, the Nazis invaded Poland. History would never be the same.
Jack stood on the tarmac, watching the planes take off. The mission was simple: infiltrate the heavily fortified Axis base and put a stop to their secret weapons project before they had a chance to use it against the Allies. A task easier said than done. As Jack and his team took off in the planes, he couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. He knew the mission was dangerous, but he didn't care because he had to do it. As they parachuted near the Axis base, Jack and his team could feel the ground shaking with every step, and distant roars filled the air around them. They were too late. The secret weapon was already loose. Jack looked in horror as he saw hordes of various Axis dinosaurs charging toward him and his team. The Germans had somehow managed to bring back dinosaurs, but how was that even possible? Jack didn't know and didn't care either. He knew that they were in for a fight like no other. They charged towards the base, firing their weapons and throwing explosives to take out any guards that stood in their way. The battle was intense, with bullets whizzing by, explosions shaking the ground, and loud roars from the dinosaurs as they charged towards Jack's team. Despite the chaos, Jack's team fought bravely, taking out the Axis guards and dinosaurs one by one. They made their way to the heart of the base, where they found the Axis scientists conducting their evil, fucked-up experiments. Inside the Axis base was another T-Rex, however. This one was different, and Jack could tell. It was twice the size of any T-Rex they'd seen prior, and a lot more ferocious too. The T-Rex was banging on the side of its cage to get to Jack and his team. Next to the dinosaur was a figure cloaked in the shadows. "You really should have stayed home," said the man still shrouded by darkness. "You will never get away with your evil, fucked-up dinosaur experiments," said a member of Jack's team. The man laughed. "What's so funny?" yelled Jack. "This isn't any ordinary T-Rex. This T-Rex has received a special blood transfusion to make it even more violent. And we also just threw a bunch of shit in there just to see what would happen." By now the bangs of the T-Rex were getting louder and louder. "What kind of blood transfusion? Whose blood did you put in your evil science experiment?" yelled Jack, sweat dripping down his face. "My blood, of course!" the man yelled as he stepped towards the light. To everyone's surprise, this was no man but a beast. They were standing in the presence of Bigfoot himself. Jack and his team were completely frozen, shocked to their very core by the revelation. Bigfoot was not an adversary to be trifled with, as he had mastered the arts of sorcery, and Jack was aware of this. Before anyone could respond, the T-Rex finally broke out of its cage. They tried everything to take it down, but the dinosaur was too powerful, its hide was impenetrable, and its movements were too fast for them to dodge. It was attacking everything in sight too, including its German allies. During the chaos, Bigfoot would escape out of a back door and live to fight another day. One by one, Jack's team fell with a powerful dinosaur, and before long it was him and some other guy. "Look out," the guy said. As Jack turned around, he saw the T-Rex chasing towards him. Before Jack could react, the guy pushed him out of the way, saving his life, but at the cost of his own. Now it was just Jack and the T-Rex. As they stared each other down, Jack knew he had to take matters into his own hands. He made the first move and charged towards the dinosaur, armed with nothing but his bare hands. He dodged the dinosaur's attack and managed to get on its back. With all his strength, he strangled the dinosaur with his bare hands until it fell to the ground, dead. As Jack looked around at the devastation that surrounded him, he couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness and regret. The cost of their victory was high. He had also failed to apprehend Bigfoot as well, and he would go on to flee to Argentina, get sent to prison for war crimes, and then became the head of NASA quite some time later. Years later, as an old man, Jack sat in his rocking chair, remembering the day he fought against dinosaurs. The memory was still as vivid as if it had happened yesterday. He thought about the sacrifices made, the lives lost, and the brutality of war. But he also remembered the sense of camaraderie and brotherhood that came from fighting alongside his fellow soldiers. And as he sat there, rocking back and forth, he knew that he would always carry the memories with him, a reminder of the impossible things that can be accomplished when people come together for a common cause.